Hello! Right, Diane here with another video to hopefully inspire you to get quilting. I'm 1/3 of Molly is a quilter, that's Diane. Another third is Molly, our handy quilter long arm machine, Moxie machine, and Laurel is the other third. We provide long arm quilting experiences on our machine to give you that little, because we all see them around and we're never quite sure of how they feel, or some people have never seen them at all before. So we offer what you could do is two-hour long sessions. There's 4 hours experience in total, and then once you've done those, we feel you're ready to start doing some simple basic quilting on your own project. So that's what you'll find us up to on the website. That's what we offer, and then obviously around and about the Merseyside region, because I'm on the Wirral and Laurel is up in Formby, so we cover the whole of the Liverpool area. And what these videos are really are not just for long arm quilting though, because most of our clients obviously only have a domestic sewing machine, so coming on to use the long arm is a bit of a treat, a bit of a experience, like going skydiving. Doesn't mean you're going to go skydiving every day. It just means you want to have a bit of fun, a bit of something new. And that's why the long arm experiences are, we feel, a great idea, especially for Merseyside, because we're not aware of anybody in this region offering such a thing. And then that brings me to these actual videos. And like I was saying before, most people will quilt on their domestic machines. So these videos that we're offering inspiration to get you started quilting are not just for long arm, they're for any quilting that you do. How you approach them on the different machines is, guess what, different. But the inspiration to actually get you doing it is the thing, because so many people finish their projects and the piecing and even sandwich it together, put the wadding behind it and then the backing behind it, and everything's all sorted, and then they fold it up and put it in a cupboard, and it maybe stays there for 1 or 2 days, you think? Weeks? Months? Years? Decades? Some people are not fans of quilting because they can't think of the ideas, they don't feel confident, they find it difficult perhaps on their domestic. And that's another thing, if you do find it difficult on your domestic, come and try and use our Molly, because obviously the fabric's all held on the frame, and so there's no heavy lifting and pushing things through small spaces, etc. Right, so we've done another video previously, and each video we do in this quilting inspiration series will hopefully give you slightly different aspects of inspiration and ideas to get you going and motivated to have a go. Just do some simple quilting. It doesn't have to be complicated or intense, intricate, any of that. It just needs to get you quilting, and then you find once you get going, perhaps doing your basic designs, then you might feel, oh, got a bit of space in between those wavy lines. Why don't I just try some of what I saw Diane showing or Laurel showing the other day on that video? And that's exactly what we want, for you to have a go. I think that's what I'm going to do next year. My word of the year is going to be 3 words: have a go. Because it's same with me, like doing these videos. You know, I'm no expert on this. I'm just sat in my sewing room, stood in my sewing room, doing a video. It's have a go. Who knows where it'll end up. Right, so, and each time we're going to do quilting ideas on one of the panels that we offer for sale on mollyisaquilter.co.uk. And don't get Molly is MOLLIE. Molly is a quilter.co.uk. If I was sassy, I'd make sure there was a banner along here about this time. We'll see if that happens. Right, and today's panel that we're going to hopefully give you some, well, I will be giving you quilting suggestions on this panel. It's I Love You. It's a Hungry Caterpillar, obviously, panel that we've managed to get. I think we've only got about 4 of them or something like that we've managed to get. But let me just show you a little bit closer up in case you haven't seen them. Cute little caterpillar coming out of there. Of course, these are all digitally printed. You haven't had to do any of the piecing. You just buy the panel and get your wadding and your backing. We provide neutral tone-on-tone fabrics for your backings as well, so you could use them. Along the bottom you've got those like OXO cubes almost, aren't they? Okay, so those are at the bottom. And if you look at that caterpillar, that'll give you the idea of where I've got my inspiration for my ideas on quilting this panel. Let's see, is that going to be, can you, I know Laurel's got a quilt on here that she's been quilting. It's a bit distracting because it's so gorgeous. But there we go. Let's bring this a little bit closer now. Not risking killing myself on all, oops, sorry, bumpty bump. There we go. And we'll try and get down a little bit more onto the panel. Got the panel better fitted, hopefully, for you to see some of the quilting suggestions. Well, the main one, like I said, from the inspirations from the caterpillar, because that is obviously the main item involved in this and why everybody will love it. Now, as I just showed you in the close-up a minute ago, I'll just remind you now, if you look at that caterpillar and the shapes that it is made of, it is like those ovals. Can you see all the different sections of the caterpillar? Now, that's what I'm using as my inspiration for the main quilting design. And as I say often, if you choose a design to keep it simple, use the same idea throughout most of your quilting. Then it makes it easier on your mind. You're not worried about different quilting in different areas too much until you get more experience, in which case you'll be extending your ideas. This is to get you started, get you inspired, and then once that initial inspiration happens, hopefully your brain kicks into Quilt Joe, gets its Quilt Joe, and helps you do more ideas. Now, what I'm suggesting with this is, before you get quilting on your quilt, is have a practice on a piece of paper. And I've also mentioned before about going around the design with your finger. Now, the way that I create these shapes, and to help you get a good stitch path so that you don't have to keep stopping and starting, and there's no break of thread in this, and it's all just I suggest using just the same colour thread all the way through in this one. The one I did previously had lots of changing of thread colours, which does give you good experience of stopping and starting your quilting and making sure those stitches are secure. But on this one, I'm suggesting just keep to the one neutral shade, or a shade that you're happy with blending into your panel. So there won't be loads of that. It'll just be the one thread colour. And obviously on this thread path, we'll just keep going. And this is the way I've been doing it. So I created the first one like that. Let me do a fresh one down here. Like that. Oops. And then go underneath, and then to up, and then travel back and do it to the top and to the bottom, travel back, travel to the lower, and then you can see how it keeps going. It's very hard to do this standing up and trying to make sure it's appearing in shot at the same time. Obviously you'll be sat down calmly doing yours, but that's the basic inspiration for the quilting on this panel. And then we'll go through where you can put that once you've practiced it all. I think from this side might be better. And then let's move it down. There we go. Now let's start I would maybe suggest starting in the letters. So like you say, here we've got the E. Okay, so what I would possibly do is I'd start in the corner. It depends on whether you like working from left to right or right to left. It's good to practice doing both, because on a big quilt, sometimes you do need to just go from right to left. And then I would do them like that. So you do first one, and then up, and then down and round, travel back, down and up and round. Oh, that big bit of thread there. And just fill that space like that. And I definitely recommend doing this as well, like I'm doing with this pen. Practice the design and the thread path with something other than your stitch, so then you don't have to worry about mistakes. So your brain will get used to what you're wanting it to do with the design. And then I would suggest doing that over all of the letters. That's my starter inspiration. So you've got the I, the U, the L, the O, the V, the E. And then I would also, perhaps keeping that same thread colour, like we said, along these bottom panels, it would be up to you. You could either do the caterpillar, we'll call it the caterpillar shape quilting design in the background of the boxes, which is what I think I would do, because what effect that has is if you, and even in the middle there, you know, you do your caterpillar shapes in that coloured section in the middle of the O, Z as well. And then what that will do is that will flatten down the background, and that emphasises, in this case, the white, the letters, that XOXO. Or again, this is just the inspiration. You can take it any which way. You might decide to do the caterpillar shapes inside the X and O's in the white, just to, you might feel you prefer that you feel that gives the letters more shape. The inspiration here is using that caterpillar shape and using more the neutral shades on, or a colour that goes with all of these that you feel. Then in the caterpillars, you basically trace over. I'd again perhaps go in green though here. Do trace over or stitch over using the same thread path. All the way along, and you've actually got the lines on the caterpillars, because obviously there's 3. So do that on each one. And then I'd say the heart, what I'd thought of with that would be, let me see if I can, might be easier if I hold it there. Let's see if that's going to work. I would myself, because it's these caterpillar coming out of the heart is the emphasis, I would go round there, and then I just keep echoing and just take yourself up into that bump of the heart as such, and then just see where it takes you. Maybe it takes you out this way, and then you work your way into the heart like that. So you're just echoing all the time. You'd stitch around there, travel a tiny bit, a couple of inches, not inches, yeah, like half an inch or quarter of an inch away from your line, and echo again, travel a quarter of an inch, go round again, travel a quarter of an inch, go round again. So just keeping echoing that design that starts off from from that hole in the heart. And that's it. That's should get you started on quilting this. And like I said earlier, once you've done those initial shapes on this and you've really got into it, who knows where that'll inspire you to. And if you do it, please do share some photos. Email us at hello@mollyasaquilter.co.uk, or on social media, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Message us with some photos, because we'd love to see what you actually end up doing. You might have heard this and think, oh, I'm not quite sure of that, Diane, but it has made me think about doing something else. And that's brilliant. That's the aim of the game, is to inspire you and just to get you quilting, get those projects finished up and used, hung on the wall, used on your bed, used over the sofa, or used in the dog bed if it goes wrong. Okay? Yeah. So happy quilting, and see you in the next quilting inspiration video.